Are we live? Oh, are we live? Okay. One, two, three, not it. This shit be bitchin', we making it in the kitchen. We're in the kitchen today because I have an ant problem. And instead of like leaving my kitchen and then coming back to ants, I'm just gonna be bitching in my kitchen. I'll be bitching in my kitchen today because I am so sick of these animales and these omegas, and I'm going to stamp them all out. Just like these fuckers want to stamp all of us out. The difference is I'm not a bug. You can't stamp me out. All right, today's chapter we're talking about Jonathan Barry. I don't know. He's so white you can't even see him. There he is. We're looking at this face today. Isn't that the face of a Federalist if you've ever seen one? Ain't that the face of a Federalist? He has no Wikipedia page, but he does have a LinkedIn page, and he does a lot of YouTube content. He is out there on the internet, on YouTube mostly. Um, but he is from a Boyden and Gray and Associates, uh, and he's a co-founder of a pro-life law student group, and he is based in DC, but he is from Arkansas. So whatever he says, he truly does believe because, well, with a face like that, who can, with a face like that, how do you think you're wrong? You don't. But let me highlight some of his beliefs before we jump into this. He thinks that labor unions in the United States, are a serious issue that have to be addressed before, quote, more radical change can happen. Um, and uh, and he wants separate tiers of regulation for small businesses, and uh, he wants to focus his attention on supporting families, but his main focus is, and he said in multiple interviews that his main focus is supporting men. Quote, unskilled men are at a disadvantage, so whatever that means to you. Unskilled men are at a disadvantage, fuck everyone else. Women, are they human? These people, I swear, with a face like that, hold on, with a face like that, how do you think you're wrong? Bro looks cooked. So let's hop into his chapter. Let's get this over with. This shit is like the homework I never wanted. His chapter is called Department of Labor and Other Related Agencies. Department of Labor and Related Agencies. So he's kind of like, this is his fantasy chapter. Most of these are fantasies chapter. So he has a mission statement, which is rare. So let's dive right into this book. At the heart of the conservative promise is the resolve to reclaim the role of the American worker as the protagonist in his or own life to restore the family and centerpiece of American life. There is something absolutely fucking delusional about that sentence. There is something absolutely delusional about that sentence. Like that's like, oh, we need to have our workers have main character syndrome so they can believe what we tell them when we tell them it's something. Like what? Like what? I'm making wool, so you can't pull the wool from under my eyes, okay? Overview. Oh no. Okay, here we go. The Judeo-Christian tradition stretching back to Genesis has always recognized the fruitful work of integral human dignity as a service to God, neighbor, and family. And the Americans have long known for their work ethic. America, known for its work ethic? Okay. I thought there wasn't going to be anyone more delusional than this guy's taking the cake. Oh my god. Let's just jump right into his quote needed reforms. Needed reforms. Reverse DEI revolution in labor policy. So what? Okay, so this is my fucking biggest gripe with this is that like what do you want us brown people to do? Like sit on our ass, twiddle our thumbs, like you accuse us of doing, and then telling us that we're a problem because we're not working because you're not giving us jobs? Like, like what? Like what are we supposed to do? Oh, get out of the country. Well, we don't have money for that. Okay, because we're poor because we don't have jobs, bitch. The other thing is like if they're really so fucking afraid of white men and white people being the minority, then wouldn't a diversity, equity, and inclusion revolution be needed? I feel like when white people become the minority, if that is to be believed by your party, then you would need these policies because guess what? You would be diversity. If white people are going to be the minority in your little fantasy land, then guess what? White people would be diversity. I mean, so do I even need to read this? Do I even need to read this? Labor policy was yet another target of diversity, equity, and inclusion revolution. God, you don't know what a revolution is, bitch. Go to Luigi's Mansion. Go watch Michael Moore Sicko and tell me about a revolution, bitch. An aspect of labor policy to become a vehicle with which to advance race, sex, and these subjects and others, including pro-life views. The next administration should eliminate every one of these wrongful, burdensome ideological projects. Bitch, you just talked about God in the first chapter. How is that not ideological? Like, hello? Can you sniff your own ass? Like, I'm gonna be in a mood today, okay, guys? Um, eliminate radical classifications for critical race theory trainings. I can't roll my eyes hard enough. I can't roll my eyes hard enough. Oh my god. Racial conflict, racial preferences. Okay, you know what? This is what gets me is that like the white people in America created race as we know it today. Like that's why I don't call Ariana Grande an Italian. That's why people call her white. Because there's something manufactured by America to create this white race, this and and black people that and brown people this. Okay, y'all created that shit, and then you're gonna turn around and be like, oh, if that don't exist, that don't exist. Race don't exist. It's by merit, okay? But these motherfucking honkies. Issue executive order banning Congress. What? Issue an executive order banning, and Congress should pass a law. Okay, it's either an executive order or Congress is passing a law. You can't have both. What are we prohibiting? Prohibiting federal government from using taxpayer dollars to fund all critical race theory training. Why? He doesn't even give me a reason. It's just that as a bullet point. I'm like, okay, direct the DOJ to enforce Title 7. Enforce Title, prohibit racial classifications and quotas, including human resources classifications and DEI trainings to promote critical race theory. Wow. Okay. Like, this is how I know someone's white, because, like, only they care about this shit. Eliminate EEO, data collection, equal opportunity, equal eliminate Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Amend Title VII. Okay, you're either embracing Title VII or you're amending it. Okay, these people. The next administration should work with Congress to amend Title VII to prohibit Equal Employment Opportunity Commission from collecting EEO data that other racial classifications employment from both private and public workplaces. Eliminate impact liability. What? With interracial marriages in America increasing, many Americans do not fit neatly into crude racial categories. Under despite impact theory, moreover, discriminatory motive or intent is irrelevant. Discriminatory motive or intent is irrelevant? The outcome is what matters, but all workplaces have disparities. This motherfucker's calling you a mugblood. This motherfucker calling you a mugblood. He's not gonna like me. I'm mixed race. What are you gonna do with all the mixed race babies, huh? Yes, interracial marriages are a thing, bitch. People fought to make that happen. I want to look through this guy's search history, I swear, because I bet it's interesting. Congress should eliminate valid theory for discrimination for race and other biases under Title VII and other laws. Lord. The next president should sign an executive order explicitly forbidding OFCCP from using disparate impact in its analysis. Eliminate OFCCP, the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs. Just eliminate it. Just eliminate it. Get rid of it. Get rid of... this chapter might as well be called Get Rid of Everything, the chapter. Are you going to propose, like, anything new? Or are you just going to get rid of a bunch of shit? Like... rescind EO. The president should eliminate the OFCCP by simply rescinding EO 1246. Federal contractors should be bound by statutory non-discrimination law that would be no longer work for under overlapping regimes. Overlapping regimes is such a term, and God, is it not the most accurate term I've read so far? Overlapping regimes. The Rehabilitation Act, blah, 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 should be enforced, blah, 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 blah. Sex discrimination? Oh, no. All right. How are you going to keep this fag from the workplace? Let's read it. The Biden administration and LGBT activists and some federal courts have attempted to expand the scope of definition of sex discrimination based on part of the Supreme Court's decision that held that an employer who fires someone simply for being homosexual or transgender violates Title VII, which is why you want to get rid of Title VII, huh? Okay. Prohibition against sex and discrimination court explicitly limited its holding to hiring and firing context of Title VII and does not purport the address of issues such as bathrooms, locker rooms, and dress codes, and other laws prohibiting sex discrimination. Notably, the court focused status on employees' use of transgender status rather than a broader antithesis of the term gender identity. Excuse me, are you clocking us for not using the term gender identity? Are you saying I'm transphobic for saying transgender status and not gender identity? This fool's trying to call me transphobic. This fool's trying to call the court transphobic for giving us rights. What the fuck kind of fantasy land does he live in? Oh my God. This shit be bitching. I'm bitching in my kitchen. My God. Withdraw unlawful notices and guidances. blah, blah, blah. Restrict application of stuck. Sex discrimination, protection of sexual orientation and transgender status in context of hiring and firing. Rescind. Okay, let's just get rid of it. He's like, sex discrimination? Get rid of it. If the gays are going to be a part of it, fuck it. Fuck the whole thing. Lord. Rescind regulations prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, transgender status, and sex characteristics. I want to know what you define as sex characteristics. Just cuz. Like, what do you, Mr. Barry? What do you classify as that? Damn. Direct agencies and refocus enforcement on sex discrimination laws. The president should direct agencies enforcement of sex discrimination on the laws of meaning of sex. Oh God, you want to okay? Discrimination laws on the biological binary meaning of sex. I'm done. Let's continue. Pro-life measures. Promote pro-life workplace accommodations for mothers. Oh yeah. Federal law should protect life, promote pro-family policies. Damn, this guy is living a fantasy. This guy, and he's working for this party where they get rid of daycare for women and shit. You know, I feel like daycare for women in the workplace is like what supporting a family is, especially if they're working for you. But, you know, he's not going to address that. Let's continue. Provides non-discrimination protections for workplace for pregnancy, childbirth, and related medical conditions. The Pregnant Workers Fairness Act requires employers to make reasonable accommodations for women to, quote, to the known limitations related to the pregnancy, childbirth. Sorry, there's a fucking ant in my kitchen. This is why I'm in the kitchen, because he's fucking ants, man. They think it's a fucking smorgasbord out here, when really I just doused the whole counter in fucking bleach. Okay. All right. Pregnant Workers Fairness Act requires employers to make reasonable accommodations, childbirth, quote, to the known limitations of the pregnancy, childbirth, and other medical related conditions, unless, quote, the accommodation would impose an undue hardship on the operation of the employer's business. These are laws that are already in place, by the way. The Americans with Disabilities Act provides non-discrimination and accommodation protections in the workplace for certain pregnancy-related disabilities. None of these laws requires an employer to provide health insurance and benefits or an abortion. Because remember, an abortion is part of healthcare. So if your employer is not providing you health insurance, then they're not providing you with an abortion. Wow. Just health insurance? Nah, fuck that shit. You don't need it. You're just going to get an abortion anyway. And this is why we have a healthcare problem. You know that scene from The Incredibles? Like the opening scene where like Mr. Incredible is like years later, he's working for like a health insurance company. And that old lady's just like, but I have full coverage. Why are you denying me my coverage? Okay, this is the vibe. This is the vibe I'm getting right now. Okay, it's bad enough that health insurance companies like deny everything for everybody in America because they're trying to save dinero, save money. So I don't hear nobody making any like fucking healthcare reforms in here. You know what I mean? Just saying. Pass a law requiring legal or greater benefits to pro-life support for mothers, clarifying abortion exclusions. Congress should pass a law requiring. Oh my God. you have to court Congress into doing these things. You can't just expect Congress to jump for you. This guy is fucking delusional. Should provide equal greater benefits for pregnancy, childbirth, and maternity and adoption. Now you're gonna count adoption. Oh, now you're gonna count adoption because before y'all had a problem with adoption. I'm just saying. Just saying. You got a problem with adoption when it comes to like lesbian mothers and fellow fags like myself. So I just want you to know that. The law should clarify that no employer is required to provide any accommodations for benefits for abortion. Yeah, you already said that. You said that. He uses the same sentence twice. Keep anti-life benefits out of benefit plans. If someone's having a fucking miscarriage and they die, you lose an employer. How is that pro-life? How is that anti-life? To save a woman's life from a miscarriage. How is that anti-life? I want to get a lawyer and fucking argue these fucking contentious terms like pro-life and anti-life because this is getting fucking insane for me. Provide robust protections for religious employers. Okay. America's religious diversity means that the workplace must include people of many faiths, that many employers that are faith-based. Nevertheless, the Biden administration has been hostile to people of faith, especially those with traditional beliefs about marriage, gender, and sexuality. The new administration should enact policies to robust protect religious exercises from the workplace, including the First Amendment Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993 and Title VII. God, I need a fucking drink every time he mentions Title VII because he's gonna be mentioning it a lot, and I'd be hammered as fuck. But I'm sober right now, so don't fuck with me. And the federal consistency protection, blah blah blah. Okay, what do I even have to say about this? Like, I know they won't use these laws to protect people of other faiths, and that's my biggest thing is that he's focusing on people with traditional religious views. And what is traditional here in America? Well, it's that colonizer Christianity, white Jesus flavored, okay? I feel like uh someone of Sikh faith, someone of like Hindu faith, like I feel like they would have a harder time trying to explain that, yeah, these are laws that you want, and yeah, you're going to have to support me. Continue. Issue executive order protecting religious employers and employees, yada, yada, yada. Clarify Title VII's religious organization exemptions. Congress should clarify the Title VII's religious or religious organization exemptions for more explicit those employers make employment decisions based on religion regardless of non-discrimination laws. Oh, okay, so this is interesting. Like, because this is something that's like already happening in the world, is that like you know, people see that you are of a similar faith to them and they are looking for employees, they will hire you because A, brother, you speak my language. So, like, this is shit that's already happening. So, to clarify it into law to make it protected is unnecessary. Absolutely unfucking necessary, just in general. Um, Provide robust accommodations for religious employees. Robust accommodations, like what? For religious beliefs and observances and practices it poses undue hardship on employers' business. The accommodation protections also apply to issues related to marriage, gender, and sexuality. There it is. Unless the Supreme Court overrules these things, Congress should clarify that the hardship means significant difficulty or expenses, not more than the minimus cost, as the court has previously held. You know, go ahead, write that into law. I'm sure applying accommodation protections for people related to marriage, gender, and sexuality, I'm sure none of this is going to bite you back in the ass, because this is, I mean, what's my gender? What's my religion? What's my sexuality? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? If I'm doing the work for you, why does it matter? If I can get shit done, why does it matter? I want answers, but no one's gonna, no one's gonna stick me in a room with Jonathan Barry. Put that on my fucking bucket list. Affirm decision making via majority vote of commissioners. Blah, don't care. Declaim power to enter consent decrees. Reorientation or reorient enforced priorities. Reorient enforcement priorities. The EEOC should reorient its enforcement priorities towards claims of failure to accommodate disability, religion, and pregnancy, but not abortion. In parentheses, but not abortion. Why do you fucking breeders want your women to die? You want babies? You need to take care of your women. Otherwise, they're going to die without abortion-like procedures. And we wonder why all these incels are fags. We wonder why all these incels are circle jerking each other. I swear to God. And then and then 10 years from now, they're gonna be like, women? We don't need women. I could fuck a robot and get her pregnant. I swear, that's gonna happen. Watch. They hate women so fucking much. Refocusing labor regulation on good of the family. Oh, God. Allow workers to accumulate paid time off. What, you guys don't already do paid time off? Oh, you don't? Oh. I'll put a pin in that. Congress should enact Working Families Flexibility Act. What the hell is that? It would allow employees in the private sector the ability to choose between receiving time and half pay or accumulating time and a half pay off. Choice by public sector workers already have. For example, an individual worked into hours of overtime every week for a year, she should accumulate 4 weeks of paid time off to use for paid family leave, vacation, and any other reason. I have a feeling that if Miss John, it's his name, right? That's his name, right? Oh, let me just, yeah, if Jonathan Barry, if I had a husband and a kid, and I've been working my ass off, and we wanted paid time off, guess what? We wouldn't get it. You know how I know that? Because it happens in Colorado. They don't get paid time off. Because guess what? They're fags. Maybe you should make your laws include everybody, including people in interracial marriages too, because you obviously have a problem with interracial marriages because they be on the rise for you. Whew. This guy's gonna get me heated. He's Delulu. Hey there, Delulu. What's it like inside your head? I think you should go back to bed because you're dreaming. Hey there, Delulu. I'm done. Okay. Congress should incentivize on-site childcare. Oh, you are addressing it. You should address it to your party then. Like, for real. Like, because they're getting rid of on-site childcare. How is this is fan fiction? This is straight up fan fiction because he's just like, oh, demand Congress to do this, demand Congress to do that. Whereas other chapters like are in a scope of reality, like, oh, hey, we should coerce Congress to do this. And if you wanted this, you'd have to talk to Congress. This fool is fucking delusional. Trying to get Congress to agree on anything is delusional. But say that to your own party. Don't say it to me. Say that to your own fucking party. Don't accuse the left of not having on-site childcare. Because guess what? They did. They did have on-site childcare at the White House until you got rid of it. Woo! Wow. These bitches, I swear. Congress should amend Fair Labor Standards Act to clarify that employers' expenses in providing on-site childcare are not part of the employee's regular rate of pay. Repeal Fair Standards Act. I feel like repealing the Fair Standards Act has nothing to do with childcare and everything to do with repealing the Fair Labor Standards Act. Don't try to fucking turn this around on childcare, Lord. It's like, well, you can have on-site childcare, but it will cost you the Fair Labor Standards Act. This fool. On a study of challenges of women. DOL should commit to honest study of challenges for women in the world of professional work. The Women's Bureau of the DOL tends towards politicized research and politicized research. Okay. You know what? If you were to actually study the women around you, you would find out that they need the fucking services, the health insurance. They need that for pregnancy as well as abortion. Because guess what? If you're knocking up your wife constantly, one of them kids ain't going to come out right. Probably going to end up a miscarriage, right? So you probably want good care for your wife, right? Oh, no, you want her to die because you don't believe in abortion? Oh, no, you're just going to get a new wife, aren't you? You fucking pig. Fuck these men. Fuck these men in every possible way other than literally. The Bureau should relocate its research budget towards open inquiry, especially influences on women's workforce participation, and to understand the true causes of earning gaps between men and women. Y'all are the cause of the earning gaps, though. And the private sector, too, because I know some motherfuckers in Seattle in a corporate headquarters don't believe in equal pay for women. I know this because I've talked to people. So it's not just conservative states, it's liberal states, too, that do this shit. So the real cause of that is y'all. And don't be acting like you're going to spend money on research to find out what's causing the pay gap. Oh my God, what's causing this awful thing that we're perpetuating? Bitch, you're wasting taxpayer money on that. What you need to do is spend that taxpayer money to fix it. Because guess what? Lesbian families two women who support a household will not get as paid as two men with a family, or a family with a man and a woman because of this gender discrimination. Had my mothers had equal pay, maybe I wouldn't be such a fucking bitch to you. For real. Like, I don't know how many, like, I'm just going to put it at that. I'm just going to put it right there because I need to find my center. I need to find my calm before I dive into more of this shit. Equalize retirement savings access across married households. Oh, now you believe in equality when it comes to equalizing retirement savings. Equality? You mean equalizing retirement savings? These bitches. Equalize access to tax-free retirement savings for married couples. The limit for married couples is $401K, similar to work-based retirement savings accounts that should be double the limit for individuals, regardless of allocation of work between the couples. This is going to make that prenup look disastrous, by the way. Family statistics. Congress should establish assistant commissioner for family statistics within the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Congress should require the Bureau of establish. Oh my God, Congress. Bro, are you writing a chapter on labor or are you writing a chapter on Congress? You're getting off topic as fuck. Congress should require the Commissioner Price Index market to include measurable family essential goods. I see family this and family that. You know what's going to happen if you pass all these laws? I know this for a fact. You're going to try to redefine what a family is legally. And that's going to exclude people, isn't it? I see you. Sabbath rest. Oh my God. God ordained the Sabbath as a day of rest. This Judeo-Christian tradition. Oh my God. Bro. Okay. You're going to be really upset with this law if this passes. I have a feeling that you're not going to be in the next cabinet because of your absolutely delusional requests. You go back from church and you want to eat something, but you're too lazy to cook for your kids. You go to McDonald's, right? Guess what? That's somebody who's working on a Sunday. And I see you fuckers do this all the time. Motherfucking Sunday school, motherfuckers be ordering 25 sandwiches from fucking Subway. I know this, bitch. I see you guys. We're working on the Sabbath so y'all could rest, bitch. Okay? So... And besides, that's also denying workers who want to work pay. You're not thinking of the wider implications. And of course you're not, because you're from fucking Arkansas. So who cares? Congress should encourage communal rest by amending the Fair Labor... there it is! You don't really want a Sabbath day of rest. You want to amend the Fair Labor Standards Act. Again! Require workers to be paid time and a half for hours worked on the Sabbath. Oh, you're gonna give us Sabbath overtime? Why, thank you, sir. God, I cannot even. Teleworking. Congress should clarify what overtime for telework applies for the employees extended to 10 hours at work. Okay. You're trying to rob people people who work from home of overtime hours. Wow, great, revolutionary, groundbreaking. No one fucking cares. Should clarify that these employees should be given optimum telework needed to record time to qualify work assigned for the day. Blah 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 blah. The Department of Labor should clarify the home office is not subject to OSHA regulations. Department of Labor should clarify that home offices are not subject to OSHA regulations, and that time set up a home office is not comprehensible time for eligible overtime calculations. This sounds personal. This sounds real fucking personal. The Department of Labor should likewise clarify that refurbishment for the home office expenses are not part of employees' regular rate, even if the refurbishments are repetitive, such as internet or cell phone service. Okay. There's a lot to unpack with that one. Holy shit. Like, yeah, you could work for home, but we're not going to pay for your internet or phone. Okay, that kind of makes sense in the American workplace, but singling out just renovating your office or a room for an office, like I feel like this is personal. I feel like someone really crossed him, like in his company or at his law firm, and someone was like, "Oh, well, it took so much to renovate my home to work at home, so maybe you should pay me." This sounds very fucking personal, and it's fucking hilarious. The first sentence being the Department of Labor should clarify that home office is not subject to OSHA regulations is fucking hysterical. My God. Making family sustaining work accessible. The Department of Labor should return to their 2019 and 2021 independent contractor rules provided needed to clarify for workers and employers. Congress should establish a bright time test based on the control of individual exercise over his or her work to determine their payee as an employee or independent contractor across all relevant laws. Congress should provide safe harbor from employer to employee status for companies for other independent workers access to earn benefits. Okay, I don't hate these ones because there has been some pushback on the existence of independent contractors in general in America. There have been laws passed about like whether we should even have independent contractors. Why aren't they on an official employee? And that has kind of like thrown a lot of the gig market into disarray, especially for entertainment. I understand these laws. I understand what he's saying here, but it doesn't make him any less stupid or delusional with other shit. And should return the long-standing approach of defending joint employers based on direct and immediate control. Congress should enact the Save Local Business Acts, which would codify long-standing definition of has existed outside of the Obama era and as Biden proposed rules. Okay. The overtime pay threshold. Oh, overtime pay is one of the most challenging aspects of the Fair Labor Standards Act rules. Department of Labor should maintain that overtime threshold does not punish business or lower cost regions. Example being the southeast of the United States. That's very specific. Why Florida? Why any of those states? What? The Trump era threshold was high enough to capture most line workers or in low cost regions. Yeah, but what about high cost regions? There, I just debunked your whole fucking paragraph. Sorry. Congress should clarify that the regular rate of overtime pay is based on salary paid rather than all benefits provided. Congress should provide flexibility to employers and employees to calculate the overtime period over a longer number of weeks. Is this why you have a LinkedIn page? Did like the Heritage Foundation not hire you? Because I noticed you're not on the Heritage Foundation. You're not even part of the Heritage Foundation. Why did they give you a chapter? Ah, it's because you're a religious fanatic and you're delusional. That's why you got your own chapter. Okay. Labor agencies should provide compliance assistance to help businesses and workers understand agencies' position of their own rules so that it was easier to follow those rules. This frees people to focus on their work rather than slogging through ever-growing body of laws, rules, guidance. Oh, so fuck the rules, yeah? Fuck the rules. Focus on your work, he says. Department of Labor should reinstitute pro-good guidance rule. Pro-good guidance rule. What the fuck is that? Via notice and comment. Congress should amend Administrative Procedure Act to explicitly limit the use of guidance documents. Excuse me. Guidance papers, guidance documents. Throw them out the window. Just let it go. Let it go. Labor agencies should exercise available instruction under deputy rule, blah, 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 except all, blah, blah. Congress should enact legislation increasing the revenue of thresholds, which the National Labor Relations Board asserts as jurisdiction over employers to match challenges of inflation that have occurred since 1935 and reflect a better definition of small business used under the federal government. Okay. Inflation is one thing. Trying to assert jurisdiction over inflation that has occurred since 1935 is a whole other matter entirely. Inflation's one thing. Trying to get data from 1935 is another ball game. Like, if we're running on 1935 prices, like, y'all wouldn't function. There's a balancing act that needs to happen here. Inflation's high, yes. Do we need to go back to 1935? Probably not. There are some products that didn't even fucking exist in 1935. Like, I don't know, cleaner. Like, detergent. I don't fucking know. Education and vocational training. Ugh. Apprenticeships. Oh. Oh no. Not apprenticeships and Trump being in the same paragraph. The Trump administration expanded apprenticeship options through industry recognized apprenticeship program. Oh my god. Bro, this next 4 years is just another 4 seasons of The Apprentice, isn't it? Congress should expand apprenticeship programs aside from rap model, recreating the IRAP system by following approved entities, trade associations, educational institutions to recognize and oversee apprenticeship programs. Today, the role of religion in helping workers is dismissed. But the country committed to strengthening civil society must be more from religious organizations to their important role as not to impede by regular rollbacks of bureaucratic status quo. What? Religious organizations are to be encouraged to participate in apprenticeship programs. Bro, can you imagine different denominations of Christianity in the same apprenticeship? Bro, there would be fist fights. There would be fist fights in the office. Like, the Jehovah's Witnesses would just be in the corner, like, looking at everybody like, I'm not getting involved. Lord. Encourage, enable religious organizations to participate in apprenticeship programs. Yes. Okay. So just to be clear, the apprenticeship program is not for people. It's not for people. The apprentice program that he's talking about is for religious groups. I just want you to, because all of this kind of reflects a decision from the Obama era, actually, when General Motors was going under during the recession. They bailed General Motors out by citing that companies and organizations are in fact people and deserve the rights of normal people, which has led to rollback of rights for actual fucking individuals like myself, like you, like the guy down the street. We have less rights than companies because companies are now people now and organizations are now people now. And they are using Obama era tactics to weaponize this shit against non-religious people. Tell me I'm wrong. Please drop a comment. Tell me I'm wrong. Hazard order regulations. Some young adults show interest in inherently dangerous jobs. Current rules forbid many young people, even their family, to run a business. Blah, blah, blah. Results as shortages of dangerous field often discourages young workers from trying more dangerous jobs. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to summarize this paragraph with a few sentences. He's saying, well, young people love them dangerous jobs. We should like roll back some protections so they can get back to doing those dangerous jobs. Who are we to deny them the right of dangerous jobs? He literally says dangerous occupations and dangerous jobs like several times in this paragraph. I don't even have the stomach to read it. Like, Jesus. This would give a green light for training programs to build skills for teenagers. Teenagers? You said young adults. Now you're saying teenagers? Teenagers. Teenagers scared the living shit out of me. Okay. You can't switch for law. For people who switch up terminology like that to think that's not gonna pull a fast one on me, it did. Can you imagine a fucking teenager at a forklift? Imagine a teenager. Imagine a 13-year-old at a fucking forklift. No? Okay. You can't imagine that? Then good. Then this sounds bad, right? The Department of Labor should amend its hazard order regulations to prevent teenage workers access to work in regulated jobs with proper training and parental consent. And guess what? This is going to skyrocket the mortality rate in the workplace, but y'all don't give a shit about that because y'all can make more babies because y'all don't believe in abortion. Oh, wait, that's going to kill more women because you're knocking up women left and right, huh? You guys are fucking idiots. Workforce training program. Congress should create an employer grant worth up to $10,000 per year for prorated portion thereof, or worker engaged in on-the-job training, defined as some share paid time spent in formal training program. That's a whole lot of nothing. Adopt civil services skill-based hiring standards for federal contractors. Interesting. Prohibit use of BA requirement for job descriptions. What? American labor union continues to experience a glut of college degrees, community procedures, and more college graduates in suitable jobs for them to fill. Meanwhile, employers exacerbate the problem by fueling demand for college by needlessly requiring degrees for jobs. Oh, does this fall under dismantling the Department of Education? Because you don't want the experts in charge. You just want people just fresh out of high school doing your job. Okay. Are we going to punish college graduates by doing this shit? I swear. Maryland state employers. Utah Governor Spencer Cox on December 22 announced that Utah would do the same. God. Adopt civil services skill-based hiring standards for federal contractors. Prohibit the BA requirement for job descriptions. You know, half these motherfuckers that have a bachelor's degree writing this will get really mad at you for dissing a bachelor's degree like this. Bachelor's degree? You don't need no degrees. Just do the thing. This is like, what kind of cavemen are you? What kind of cavemen? Federal workforce development, evaluate, streamline workforce development programs, ensuring evidence-based outcomes. Review employment and training programs to ensure outcome-based metrics. What? How does that? Outcome-based metrics. Evidence-based outcomes. Outcome-based metrics. This is gonna drive me fucking insane. It's like a snake eating itself. Shit. Federal Unemployment Insurance Program. Congress should enact bipartisan compromise. This is the first time you mentioned bipartisan compromise in your whole time of commanding Congress to do shit. I just want you to know that. Including labor force inspector, access to blah, blah, blah. Congress should develop framework just for technical standards for broader tech topics like state agency, cybersecurity, and taxonomy standardization, data taxonomy standardization, and or identity verification standards. Congress should provide the Department of Labor with more reasonable enforcement tools for the UI system. God, you're asking Congress for a lot, bro. This is fantasy. Congress can't even pass one law in a day. How do you expect them to pass all these laws? They can't even agree on one fucking law of the day sometimes, okay? I want to call bullshit. God, I want to call bullshit so bad. Worker voice and collective bargaining. Non-union worker voice and representation. Oh, here it is. His protections for non-union workers, which, hey, I have been a non-union worker. And so I understand the protections for this, but it shouldn't come at the price of denying union work. I understand protecting non-union workers, but it shouldn't come at the price of the other. And this is how politics work. They give you one thing, deny the other, and then the other party gives you one thing and denies the other, and keeping you in an endless loop of fucking politics until the end of fucking time to keep you distracted from the wars that they're funding. This is just a problem. Like, this whole chapter exacerbates problems, and I just don't like it. Union transparency. Yeah. You want them under a microscope because we know you're anti-union. Let's get to the good part. Reverse unreasonable interruptions of protected concentrated activity. Injunctive relief for worker organizing activities within, oh God, well, union busting. Oh, union busting. Oh, that's what it is. Dues funded worker centers. Office of Labor Management Standards Initiative, revise investigation standards, persuader rule. The Department of Labor should rescind persuader rule once again should the Biden administration revive it. Okay, let's be clear. Persuader rule existed and doesn't exist, but they are saying that it shouldn't exist just in case the Biden administration tries to revive it, which they haven't. This paragraph is useless. Unionizing workplace, card check, and secret ballot. Discard card check. Congress should discard card check as on the basis of union recognition and mandate the secret ballot exclusively. What? Secret ballot union? Oh my God. Contract bar rule. Eliminate contract bar rule. Just get rid of all the rules, man. Get rid of all the rules. We don't need no rules. God. The states. Oh. Approve public worker organizations, UI administrators, officer waivers for suitable alternatives, require organizational restriction of political spending, labor law, pass legislation, allow waivers from local governments. Oh my God. Congress. Oh, another to-do list for Congress. God. Why? This makes me wish that this could have been a to-do list like some of the other chapters, because God damn, you asking Congress for a lot, bro. Congress should ensure contracts, application, license recognition. Congress should ensure well-qualified licenses are not locked out of the job market by restrictive government programs funded by the federal government. Okay. For instance, medical doctors must complete residency training to practice, and because Medicare provides funding for significantly fewer residencies than the other doctors, sizable numbers of MDs are locked out of their job market every year. You are an MD. This makes sense why you're writing this. Department of Labor should. Wait a second. What are you saying about Medicare, though? Are you saying we shouldn't have Medicare because it locks MDs out of other jobs? What are you saying about Medicare? Worker retirement savings and pension reforms. Lord. God, I just don't care. God, I really don't care about what you're writing about. Public pension plan disclosure, disclose fair market value of plan as well. I just don't care. I just don't care. I'm calling bullshit. I can't deal with this. Immigration, oh my God. You are the Department of Labor. Get immigration out of your mouth. Phase down H-2A visa program. Yeah, no shit. You don't like immigrants. You don't like immigrants working for you. You don't like them. Wow. No one fucking cares. Phase out HB2 visa program. Phasing out visa programs now. Wow. Higher American requirements. Congress should mandate that the federal contracts require at least 70% of contractors' employees to be U.S. citizens, with a percentage insisting that 95% over a 10-year period. I'm so fucking done. I'm done. Like, eliminate forms of forced compulsory labor, protect workers' rights by protect non-union workers' rights, by the way. Create a rapid response mechanism to provide an independent panel of investigation for denial of labor rights and covered facilities. Okay. Investigate foreign labor violations that undermine American workers. Lord. I'm just done, man. I'm done. Let's read his conclusion because I'm done with this chapter. The good of the American family is at the heart of the conservative Labor Party. Okay, what about my American family? My family's American. What about my mothers who worked? Are they not going to get recognized? Of course not, because you're trying to roll back LGBTQ protections and interracial marriage protections. Like, and you're fucking. We're done with this chapter. We're gonna, when we come back, we're gonna be in the 650s. Okay, we're gonna be page 652. Okay, we're ending at 652 with the Department of Transportation. I know they're gonna gut this motherfucker down because they love hating on Pete Buttigieg because he's a fag like me. So I'm just saying. Just I need a break. I need space. This guy is delusional and he doesn't live in the real world. I can't say anything else about it. He is delusional and doesn't live in the real world. He's never had he hates unions because he's a lawyer or a business owner or whatever. And he's just he doesn't bring solutions. He just brings shit we got to fix later. And this is how the American political party works, is that one party gives you shit and takes away other shit, and the other party gives you the shit that they took away, but takes away the shit that they gave you. It's a tit for tat. And this plays into that tit for tat so well that it has me annoyed. It has me genuinely annoyed. When we come back, Lord, when we come back, I want to be done with this shit so bad. This video was an hour too long, and it was just me ranting, and I apologize. If you want to see content of me smiling and enjoying my life, go look at my gaming footage. I have a show called One Gamer, Two Controllers. I generally have fun there. But if you do enjoy the content of me absolutely losing my mind, then you've come to the right place. All right, guys. We're signing off. I'm done with Jonathan Barry's chapter. Jonathan Barry's chapter was too much for me because I thought the Colombian guy was bad. Okay. I thought his level of delusion was bad. But no, he at least had parameters of reality. This guy does not. He doesn't know what it's like to be a woman, so he doesn't give a shit about reproductive rights. He doesn't give a shit about fags because he's not one. He doesn't give a shit about anybody who ain't white or religious because he's not those things. How is this not identity politics? How is Jonathan Barry's chapter not classified as identity politics? Because to me, it is. To me, that's identity politics. That's the identity politics of the right. And with that, I need to get the fuck out of here and have a drink of water or something. Go outside. Go breathe. Like, have a happy holiday. Like, do your thing, you know? Thanks for coming by to Dope Flicks. It's do as fuck flicks. If you want to do something, Do it. Do it as fuck. Do AF. Doflix. Just do it. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't let this man stop you. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't let me stop you. Just do it. Nike style. All right. We should end the stream right now. It's gone on too long. Love you guys. Take care.